I do wrong, better give me the work. One like a jumper, I'm feeling like Dirk. My page are addy, they wanna come lurk. They only feel good if they post it on perks. Living my life and it comes with the perks. Knew I could fuck when she gave me the smirk, but it was so easy, it gave.
What's good? MarlonmadethatTV back with another video, and today I got Baddies Africa episode 20 review. If you are new to my channel, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and turn on post notification bells to be updated with all forms of new content. But without further ado, I'll jump straight into this video. I'm not gonna lie, tonight was bro, this episode was truly good. I was entertained from start to finish, bro. So it leads also the ladies getting ready to leave for Kenya and headed to London and shit like that. So they're all packing up their stuff. And we end up finding out that Choco has to leave the show early and she can't go to London because she doesn't have her visa/passport situation handled. And that sucks because it's like, damn, like Choco, even though she was there for her time and she beat with who she beefed with and fought, it was like, dang, I felt like she had more to prove and more to do, especially at the reunion. And she just announced she can't go to the reunion due to her visa. It's like, dang, bro, like, that shit should have been held in Africa or something. I was seeing fans in the comments talk about it, but yeah, they should have definitely did that, at least for the African girls, because that would have made sense, you know? So, Dolly says, oh, no. They get on the bus, and LCK says that she misses Choco. And Dolly confronts Choco and says, oh, they're not friends, which is odd to me, because how are you going to decide how somebody else is cool if you're not cool with them? I don't know. It was weird. Dolly was giving a little bit, like, picking on Elsie in the scene. I ain't really fuck with that, you feel me? But Elsie misses her because she's just like, dang, I can't go to London with her and stuff like that. So Dolly, she just popping in, just talking about how she happy to be here and she's happy she's going to London and shit like that. And all of a sudden, Dolly ends up checking Russian for lying on her. And she points to LCK to tell her what happened, because LCK told Dolly that Russian said to her after one booking that Natalie was going to book Russian and Elsie for a booking for at least 10K. And Dolly pointed at Russian and Elsie and was like, oh no, like motion, like, don't book them. So Russian wasn't fucking with that. So then I guess LCK got that information and went to Dolly and told her. But it's like, you and Dolly aren't really friends, so it didn't make sense for Elsie to go back and tell Dolly, because Dolly literally said, like, oh, I don't fuck with you or Elsie, you feel me? I don't fuck with y'all bitches, you feel me? Y'all bitches is not coming back next season. And I'm like, damn. I mean, Russian Korean, I understand, because she just complained the whole time. He was injured or playing injured, and she didn't really want to be there. LCK, I don't know. LCK, like, she has her moments. Like, I feel like she had dry spots without the season, but half the season, like, towards the end, I'm not gonna lie, she turned up, like, her storylines and just her being a personality. Like, I like LCK. She funny as fuck. I ain't gonna lie. So, once Dolly checks Russian for a line on her, and then Elsie explains what happened, Elsie said that Russian told her that Dolly tried to stop their bag on Natalie's tour, and Russian said that that she tried to stop the bag, and Dolly confronts her like, bitch, I never tried to stop no bag, what are you talking about? And she just said that y'all boring and y'all not gonna get booked, and y'all not getting booked for next season. And Dolly checks LCK and Russian, like, she don't mess with either of them, she don't fuck with them, all that. I'm just like, dang, if I was, first of all, LC and Russian, if I was them, I'd have jumped on Dolly, I'm not gonna lie, even though Lex and Summer would have jumped in. Like, Dolly deserved that because she just talking to them crazy. Like, y'all all grown women, hell no. So then Elsie says she ain't win a fight. Elsie says that Russian ain't win a fight while she was here the whole time. And Russian's like, what? No, like, so they end up going back and forth. And Elsie says that Russian hides behind the big three or tries to, like, be buddy with them so she could be safe, which is true. Because if you look at Russian's storyline or how she was at the beginning of the season, first it was supposed to be a trio of Elsie, Tavy, and her. Then it flipped when she got into it with both of them. Then she went to the big three. Then she was talking about the big three. Then she went over to, like, Diamond and inside, but then they found out she was talking about them. It was just like, bro, she just kept clip hopping. You feel me? I don't know, like, she just can't stay out of something or just talking about somebody or other groups of people. You feel me? And Russian, honestly, I felt like your energy should have been more towards Dolly and not LCK. If you were going to sneak somebody, it should have been Dolly, because Dolly was the one who was popping it at you. LCK was, even though it was right to confront LCK for doing that, it's like, nah, you should have popped on Dolly, because Dolly was really the one who was popping shit at you and telling you you're not gonna get booked and you born and stuff like that. Like that would have made you. I'm telling you that moment right there. I don't know. They storylines too fucked up. Who are they producers, my nigga? I would have been like Russian, my nigga. All right. So, anyways. Russian says, shave your mustache. Elsie says, oh, shave my mustache. Okay, pussy still tight. And yo, I was rolling, bro. I was hollering, bro. I had to play that shit back about 4 or 5 times, bro. I was dying. And Lex and Summer started dying at what Elsie said. She's like, pussy still tight. Pussy still tight. So I'm like, damn, like that shit funny as hell. All of a sudden, you see Russian with the broken arm and the cast swing off on Elsie. And I'm not gonna lie, at first, Russian probably got like 2 hits in. Elsie started macking. I'm like, oh, like she learning a few things over the course of this season, feel me? So I'm like, okay, I see you, Elsie. So then Elsie came like, pussy still tight, pussy still tight. I was rolling. That shit had me dead. So then after the bus scene, it cuts to Natalie, Amber, and Latina pulling up to the I said the final house, but yeah, this is their final location of where they're filming. So they pull up to the crib. It look nice as hell. They on some like stairway shit, like 32 floors. I'm like, what the hell? Oh, hell no. But it was exaggerated. It's probably like 10, maybe 5, but it was still a lot of stairs. So Natalie talks to Amber and Latina, and she tells them that she wants the girls to end out with a bang, and she doesn't want them acting all type crazy. Oh, no, hell no. I don't want that nigga copywriting all shit. Yeah, goddamn, we don't need to copyright my shit, goddamn. Hold on, I'm put it on mute. I don't know why I ain't just run it back, because I could just play it back, like. So where we go? Oh, yeah, Natalie says she wants them to end with a bang. That shit funny, bro. Yeah, that shit funny as hell. Hold on. That shit is funny. Alright. So they... Damn, where was I at? Hold on. No. Oh, yeah. Oh, Natalie was talking to Amber and Latina and says that she wants the rest of the girls to go out with a bang and for them to, act right in the club and just turn up. Amber tells Natalie, like, I don't know how she does it because she wouldn't have made it the whole time. Like, she would have anxiety looking over her shoulder and not knowing, like, who would want to fight her or how to fight and shit like that. So she was just like, I'm glad it's, like, towards the end for real. And I'm like, yeah, because I think had Amber stayed a long time, somebody would have tried her. Maybe Diamond or somebody, because eventually, you're not ducking no face. You feel me? So it cuts to the bus, and Russian flies off. Like, as soon as they stop the bus to, like, get inside, Russian flew the fuck off, right? To get off the bus, because she wanted to just get inside. So then Lex runs after her. As she do, she get caught on, like, the handle of the, like, one of that part when you close the door on a car, it got caught. So she ended up having a big-ass rip damn near on her ass cheek. Fat ass butt is out the Lulu. You feel me? So I'm like, what the hell? Like, what is going on? So then Dolly says Russian needs to go home and that she's a snake. And once a snake, always a snake. And I'm like, bro, here she go with her sayings. Like, Dolly, we don't need all that. So then Dolly accuses Russian of pissing on herself because there was water in her seat. There was like water in her seat. She was like, man, she done pissed herself, man. She done pissed herself. So I'm like, what the fuck? So all the ladies, the rest of them, they arrive in the house or whatever. They go in the living room for a meeting. Dolly and Elsie explain what happened on the bus with Russian to Natalie so she could get an understanding of like what's going on and stuff like that. And Russian explains to Dolly. Russian explains what Dolly said to her in the club. Hold on. So when Natalie was talking to Dolly in LCK, she said that she got Russian downstairs. So she goes downstairs and she goes to talk to Russian. As she's talking to Russian, right? So Russian, like, she just out of it. You could tell, like, she just tired. And she explains what Dolly said to her in the club. And Natalie was like, well... And Natalie talks to her to reassure her that she's a baddie and that she should stay. And it doesn't matter what Dolly says about, like, them not getting booked or whatever. She has the final say of who she pays and who she's taking on tour, which is true. You know what I'm saying? Like, she shouldn't let that get to her head because it's like Dolly want to trick you out your spot. The less girls, the more she could eat and more in her vision. Like, feel me? I do feel like Russian should have just stuck it out and she should have called out a fade with Dolly. It just put it on the floor, or even the big three. Like, she just put it on the floor because clearly, like, they was playing in her face, so, why not call out? But she probably got whooped, I ain't gonna lie. So, Rolly ends up bringing up Latina and Diamond's problems. Like, is there any issue still between them? And Rolly asks Latina, is she done? Like, is it over with? And she's just like, Latina says and asks Diamond, well, does she want her lick back? You know what I'm saying? Because she feels as though she got Diamond. And I don't know if we, watching the same episode, but, she got you to the ground. She can kick you in the face. I think you want that lick back. And Tavy said, no, Latina, do you want your lick back? I don't know what what a lick back is. She said, I don't know if you know what a lick back is, my nigga. To Latina, and which is true, because it's like, Latina, you should want to fight, even though you started it. But Diamond says, yeah, and they end up squaring up, right? So then Rolly and Scotty like, oh, she should tie up her hair. She should tie up her hair. And then Scotty offers Latina a bonnet. Diamond says, no, Scotty, if you give her a bonnet, I'm fighting you. And I was like, yes, Diamond, because Scotty been playing in your face since Caribbean in that reunion. If y'all peep every reunion, bro, since Diamond's been on, she always shades Diamond or says something petty. Even at the Midwest reunion, she do not be fucking with Diamond for real. Feel me? Like, you just gotta peep it back and listen to the audio and watch her Diamond fight. It's always something, shady she's saying. And I'm not gonna lie, Diamond swings on from Latina. Diamond got that. Like, she overpowers her by a lot. Took her to the floor, was dragging her. At first, Latina did get like 2 good hits. I was like, ooh, if she was still in that stance. But Diamond had her bonnet over her face, so that was kind of avenged. She flipped her bonnet off. That shit was funny as heck. I'm watching the scene, yo. That shit was funny. Hold on. She said, but you give her that money, I'm a bitch. But that shit had me dying. So Rolly checks everybody and says, y'all need to put all y'all issues on the floor and do not wait till the reunion. So then Natalie ends up checking Dolly for speaking on who she pays and who she got going on bookings, and rightfully so, because she is the boss and she could do what she want. So Dolly like, man, I ain't trying to hear all that shit, man. You feel me? Like, she like, I'm not trying to hear all that. Oh, damn. So Dolly says she's not trying to hear all that and whatever. And Summer says the reason why Russian brought up what Dolly said in the club, the reason why Russian brought up what Dolly said in the club was because Elsie... Wait, hold on. Oh, so Summer mentions that the reason why Russian brought up what Dolly said in the club was because LCK said that she could get Lex a crib after the show. And then Russian Cream intervened and said, no, my bitch could get you a crib. So I don't know if Russian was mad at Elsie or Dolly. She was probably mad at what Dolly said. She was probably mad at what Dolly said in the club. But Elsie said what she said back to Dolly because she felt some way about Russian intervening and saying somebody she knows could get her a crib. And when I say I was on the floor, I was rolling, y'all. That shit had me dead. So then, all of a sudden, as they talking, LCK slowly snatches off her wig, and she ran up on Russian and put her in the meanest headlock I ever seen. You just seen her braids just out and running. She just put her in the headlock. Russian like, no. Now like, no, she's injured. She injured. She don't give a fuck. Like, LCK mad as hell, put her in the headlock. I'm gonna give that to LCK. Like, what? So Russian goes downstairs mad as hell. She wanna like leave at this point because she not feeling it. So Lex goes and runs again, check on Russian. Like, if you're not really friends with that girl, why you keep checking on her so much? She keep trying to be like this Mother Teresa or some shit. Like, she goes to check on her and it's like, what? And Russian literally runs out the door. Like, I'm talking about she leaves off set. Now, this is a zoo. She's breaking the fourth wall right now because they're not really supposed to leave set, especially while filming. That's why the camera crew was running and following after Russian, because they could be liable if she, like, goes missing or something like that. You feel me? Like, because they're technically responsible for their well-being. And they do not want to pay nobody family. Don't say. In London, you top of the cherry eye. You feel me? You don't know, governor. So they're running all through London, my nigga. I'm talking about for real. Lex got that big ass hole on her fucking pants running through that shit. Just running. She just running through the field. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Russian hiding from the cameras and shit. She running in the basements, going into bars and shit. The guy was like, hey, you could get arrested going down there. She was like, I don't care. Get the cameras on my face. Get them on my face. And she was just mad. Like, she was mad as shit. So Lex really not making it no better. Feel me? She like not trying to calm Russian down. She's more so like telling Russian the reason why she's in the predicament she's in now is because she snuck LCK. And who is she to sneak LCK and for not LCK to get her lick back, which is true. I feel like if you're gonna do that, like, you can't get mad at somebody who's responsible when you hit them and you knew you were injured with that cast, but you still hit. And again, if you were gonna just work the hit, it was gonna be Dolly. Like, you just ran up on Elsie. So Lex had a point, but she definitely wasn't calming her down. So Lex said, how are you gonna get mad when you start a fight and get mad when someone sneaks you back? And then she says, at this point, you're looking scary. And now I'm second guessing, like, were you really the person you said you were the whole time? And I'm like, damn. So then Russian, she makes her exit. Now, Zeus, messy as hell, bro. They go back to her episode ago. And she said, I'm not going to give you bitches the satisfaction of seeing me leave. And then they cuss to her saying, yeah, my time on the Baddies is done. I'm like, yo. I'm like, they be wildin', bro. They're petty. So Natalie says to LCK her hand was injured. What was she supposed to do? And Elsie said, fuck her hand. So then Rolly asks Summer what happened, and is she okay? Summer says yeah, and then Summer explains Russian started the fight and says that Scorched Eye still had a problem. I'm like, Scorched Eye. I'm like, what the fuck is a Scorched Eye? But I guess it's like a wielder, like when you wield something and it's like imprinted. That it basically Kokilla. Her Summer and Kokilla still had a problem at the airport. Because Summer was laughing in Kokilla face, and Kokilla like, you just playing in my face like you think something funny when I walk by, like ain't nothing funny. She was like, it wasn't no cameras around. I'm like, damn, bro, like that shit wild. And I'm like, well, y'all don't like each other, so I know y'all had to be probably on the same flight, but it's like, what the fuck, like, you know, like that shit weird as shit. I'm like, I don't know, that shit weird as hell. So they end up going just back and forth. And eventually Summer asks Killer, what does she want to do? So Summer and Killer end up lining it up. And honestly, I'm going to get at the... Oh, wait, I'm going to get the Killer. Nah. I'm going to give it to Summer. I said go Killer. Nah, I'm going to get that to Summer. Because Killer was in there at first, but she wasn't... Like, I don't know. Like, she didn't do... like as well, like as I thought she should have. So, and then once Summer got her on the floor, she was kind of mopping her. So I'm gonna get out to Summer. Natalie tells them they need to cool off. It's a big market in London for all of them, and they need to play it cool in the club so they could get this bag and go the fuck home. So Natalie mentions that Killer wig is ripped, and Killer's like, oh, my wig got ripped, but it's cool because she got wigs. You feel me? Wigs on top of wigs on top of wigs. So it ain't nothing. So all the girls go look for their room. It cuts to Lex, Summer, and Dolly going on top of the rooftop looking over London and the buildings. The security sounds like a concerned ass uncle. He like, come on, girls. Come on now. It's dangerous out here. Come on, come inside. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, yo. But it was because they must have been high up. Like, you know, London has those apartments or buildings where they're just like high and over it. Like, that shit looks nice. I gotta go one day. No shade. No shade. So, Rolly and Latina are in the room talking, and Rolly gives Latina her props for at least sticking with Diamond, because she said before she was able to get on the ground, she was sticking with her with the 1-2, so she gave her respect. And Latina's just like, yeah, you know, I'm here for a reason. And she was like, I had to pop on a bitch who was talking loud, and it just happened to be Diamond. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like Latina Rose. I'm not gonna hold you. I didn't like how she just came in trying to like fight Diamond off the strength of Natalie, but she is funny. She does have somewhat of a personality, and I like her Philly accent. That's just me. So, yeah. So then the big three walk into Rolly's room. They talk with Rolly and Latina for a bit about the whole Russian situation. And then a couple seconds after that, which is clearly production, Elsie ends up going into the room with them, even though I thought Rolly and Elsie didn't really like each other like that. But, you know, cool. So they end up asking her just about Russian and shit like that. And they're just like, man, Russian, she picks and chooses, and she wanted to end up fighting Elsie when she knew she was injured. And it wasn't right that if she was injured to swing off on Elsie and think that Elsie wasn't supposed to do anything in return, which is true. It's like, if you knew you should have just played it cool or just swung off on Dolly, like I said. So then it cuts to Diamond, Scotty, Fauna, Tavy, and Killer. They're in the room, and they're talking about the Latina situation. Diamond just says she doesn't respect how Latina just came in, being disrespectful, trying to fight, and not even understanding the full situation of what's going on. just rolling off the strength of Natalie. And which is true. Like I said, Latina seems like a lit girl. And she very pretty, but it's like, don't just come in just trying to clout chase for no reason. Like, you could have got to know Dami. I could have been cool. Feel me? Like, just be cool. Because Amber didn't come in just being like, oh, bitch, da-da-da-da. Because she could have, but she didn't. Like, you know? So we get that Pretty P is back, and I'm not gonna lie, I miss me some Poppin' P. I don't know what it, you know how they say absence make the heart go fonder. I know some people think, oh, Pretty P, she following after Ivory and Diamond. She ain't do much this season, but honestly, I like Pretty P. I feel like she done enough, and hey, they took her wristwatch and she fought who she needed to fight over it. So is she really wrong? Not really, because. And don't get me wrong, I like the big three, but they be sneaking and doing all that. So if Pretty P do it, I don't care. You feel me? But she back, feel me? I miss Pretty P, no shade. So it is what it is. You can feel how you feel. Ask your mama, you feel me? So the ladies get ready for the club. You know, they're looking all, I ain't gonna lie, as a collective, as a group, they all look really good. Like, as a group, they kill all their looks. Like, I don't know what London did to them. London turned up their fashion for real. Whoever was there stylist for that night, all of them need to book them constantly because they look crazy. You feel me? Look really good. All right, so boom, they arrive at Club Coco, gets to turning up, blah, 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 drinks flowing, ass shaking, all types of shit. Boom, all of a sudden, Natalie cuts the mic. Boom, she checking the baddies as a whole, but I don't know exactly who she's checking. So it's Fauna Kokilla, and then Summer, Lex, and probably Dolly. So they get back and forth. So Summer and Killer must have got into it again in the club. Like, they just going back and forth, just getting into it, back and forth, back and forth. All you see is Summer throw a motherfucking ace bottle right at Cold Killer head. When I tell you Cold Killer was throwing everything, I'm talking cups, napkins, spoons, forks, tables, DJs. Bro, she was throwing everything at Summer after that. Like, it was so bad. So they end up dragging Summer off. Natalie's on the mic like, oh, I'm tired of you bitches. I can't go nowhere with you bitches. I need to chill. So then Killer wildin'. Natalie over the mic checking Cold Killer. Oh, Killer, stop, Killer, stop. Bro, Summer started that shit, bro. And don't get me wrong, I like Summer, love Summer down, but it's like, she started that. Like, you should be checking Summer. Cold Killer had every right to start wilding out because Summer keep wilding at the bookings. Like, I can't be just throwing shit and doing shit in the club. You need to check that person. You should have said, Summer, come here now. Like, feel me? Like, have some authoritarian shit. Like, you talk about you a boss, nigga. Man. Whew. So the episode ends off there, feel me? I ain't gonna lie, this episode really good. Next week look fucking lit. Like, the trailer look crazy. All type of fades, braids, going crazy. Hey man, listen, this episode was really good. I gave it a 10 out of 10. If you stay to the end, too, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and turn on post notifications as we update all forms of new content. And I'm gonna see you in the next video. Yeet.